Hey there, Pastor Purple. We're doing our parental tips for today. I quite like these. I'm enjoying being in my garden. This is really nice. Can you hear the birds singing every so often? It's wonderful. I hope you do. They fly overhead. They might be trying to eat some of the stuff my husband is growing currently. I'm trying to dig up the rest of the garden, so yes. But anyway, today's parental tip is about failing crystals. What I wanted to do was show you how badly they failed, but they're inside the house and I'm not going back in there because the kids are awake, I think. Probably trying to get breakfast, so I'm hiding in the garden. But what I wanted to talk to you about is failing crystals. So what happened was we had, we do these art classes. The kids love them. The art classes have developed into science projects, math ideas, gardening, baking. 11 o'clock in our house is just a great time generally. It can be frustrating, it can be difficult. But what we decided to do after a little bit of research was grow crystals. I figured this was going to be fun. It looked colourful. My sons are obsessed with stones, growing crystals. I mean, this is going to be brilliant. It's going to be amazing. But what I have found with amazing ideas is that the best plans don't work. So I looked at some of the recipes online for growing salt crystals and sugar crystals and, edible crystals and all kinds of things. And I thought, well, this sounds like a really big thing. Maybe we should start small and then work our way. Like if it works, we'll work our way up to other things. So we got 2 crystal packs. We got 1 crystal pack, which came in a little jar, cost like €3. Fine. And then I found another crystal pack which was a whole like rainbow thing and had all kind of colours and reminded me of some of these things. That was like €6. And I thought, okay, well, crystals, it's a little bit of money, but it's cheaper than it would be if it was on full price. I can afford it for now, so we'll give this a go. We should have just stuck to the sugar in the cupboard or the salt in the cupboard, to be honest. It failed. Like the whole project, it lasted 2 or 3 days of hell. The first day, of course, you do the task, which is not done within the hour that our normal, classes are done. So that added a level of complication because it's not very much to do. You get the things ready, you put the water in, and then you kind of just leave it. So there's an hour's waiting time here and 3-minute waiting time here. One is aluminium based and one was I can't remember the other base of the other one, of the crystals. And okay, so one needed an hour's rest, one needed 3 minutes rest. And then what are you going to do? So, we doodled and did other things, but okay, this was just not that fascinating. But I said, the build up was that the crystal's going to grow. So you're going to see stuff. You can record it. It's going to be amazing. And so we looked at the instructions. The instructions are very clear. You wait 24 hours, you have this thing, it'll be fine. So we did the final bit, we put it on one side and you have to wait 24 hours. So after about 12 hours, which was that evening, the next day, so about 12 hours of this, because we did it later in the day that day, because it just didn't work. We went back to check on these crystals, because after 12 hours, if it's 24 hours, 12 hours, something should be happening. Got to be honest, nothing was happening. I was a little bit worried. Began to question what we had done, but the kids were really upset. They were really distressed. My eldest son, who is obsessed with stones and rocks and crystals and sparkles and he was so just frustrated that nothing was happening. You can see all the birds are landing as well. It's that fun. He was not happy, and we were trying to really pacify, keep it calm, be like, listen, crystals grow at their rate, this is it, let's look up the science. So we looked up the science. Okay, cool, we looked up science, it'll be fine, we're growing crystals, it's all good. Got this lovely pigeon that's joined me. It will be fine. Yeah, no. We continued on. 24 hours later, it was just a water mush. One was a water mush because it was small, and the other one was just water. My husband had to look at it closer. He's like, I swear, there must be something in there. And this project basically it failed, spectacularly failed. We eventually, I think 3 days later, said, look, we just got to call an end to this thing. We're going to have to just take this stuff out. It's just not working. Whatever is supposed to happen is not going to happen. But by that stage, one of them, the smaller of the two, had grown into a crystal shape, but could no longer be removed from the jar. So in the information you could take it out and you could see these great crystals. In this particular form, it like had spiny crystals, and the other kids one had like grains of crystals maybe attached to this rainbow. It failed, like it really failed. It failed. The kids were frustrated, they were sad, they were angry, they were annoyed, they were, so many emotions. But the underlying emotion, I think, was just disappointment. You know, they'd gone to all the trouble of recording it, trying to work it all out, reading the science behind it. And then no, nothing had worked. So what it was, I think, was a great lesson in failing. I wouldn't advocate buying these kits, by the way. I'm not a great advocate for them. These two kits were terrible. One was a rainbow kit where the crystals are supposed to grow onto the rainbow. The picture looks amazing. The reality is just no. I don't know how many months you have to leave it there to go like that, but it certainly wasn't the 24 hours it advocated for in the book. And the other one was just a jar, €3 something. Science grey, I think. But what was great is it was an opportunity to talk about failure, to talk about not always getting your own way, not always working it out. So the lessons actually came in a completely different way than expected. And sometimes life is like that. We have to take our lessons in a completely different way. Sometimes we just need to take the opportunity to breathe in the lesson regardless of what you were hoping to do. There's a different path, and kids, the earlier they learn that, the better it is for them in the long run, because of course failure is just a part of success. If you try at something, you fail, you try again, and then you get there eventually. It may take you a little bit longer, and sometimes the failure is learn the lesson, don't need to do that again. So we have decided that we will do some research and look up like grey and sugar crystals or edible crystals or something, and see if we can make those. But I don't hold out any hope for that happening maybe before December, because it was a huge amount of disappointment, and I need to do the research, and I'm at work still, so I need a vacation in order to do the research properly. But yeah, failure is not the end. Failure is just a step in the process of becoming brilliant, and maybe that's just what we need to tell our children instead of everything working perfectly the first time they try. Well, it was a group effort of failure. It was wonderful. We enjoyed it. I don't recommend it for you to do. Maybe you'll have more success than me. Have a wonderful day. Bye.